Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? I hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl, this Super Bowl 59, where the Eagles dominated the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 40-22. But nevertheless, that's not the important part of this video. This video and this episode is brought to you by Livewire Sports and Nike. Yes, Nike had just put out one of their best ads in a long, long time. And it featured basketball sensation Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, and Juju Watkins, and others. They had Sha'Carri Richardson, Alexa Putellas, Jordan Childs, and I think Serena Williams and Anya Sablika, and Sophie Smith. So the purpose of this video, the purpose of Nike to do this is to showcase athletes, but it highlighted women's basketball in a whole because Nike has not did the things that they need to do when it came down to the female athletes. Now, we know they represent tennis, we know they represent golf, we know they represent gymnastics and track and field. But when it comes to women's basketball, especially the WNBA players, it seemed like it's a long way to go. Now, you have Asia Wilson that just came out with her signature shoe. Well, it comes out in May, but she just highlighted. And you seen Bam Adebayo wearing it. Then, Sabrina Ionescu not just had one pair, but she had two pair to come out. And you see a certain players in the NBA wearing her shoes. And then on top of that, now we finally getting Caitlin Clark shoe in motion the way we thought it should have been from the beginning of last year or in the college going into this, last season. But nevertheless, Caitlin Clark's shoe is in the process and her new logo is in the process. But Nike seems to tend to pay more attention to the male athletes when there's a whole plethora of women athletes, and to highlight what the women athlete is about and the movement of the women athlete now as it is on its rise, especially where you have Caitlin Clark at the center of it, it really shows Nike they have to emphasize more. I watched the commercial, took a bunch of clips of it. Caitlin had a photo shoot posted up there and everything, and Nike came out with a new slogan. So without further ado, if you have not seen the commercial video, here you go.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't be confident. So be confident. You can't challenge. So challenge. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't flex. So flex. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't be emotional. So be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
So there you have it. That was a 90-second clip of Nike's new commercial featuring the women basketball players. Like I said, Juju, Asia, Caitlin, and Sabrina Ionescu. And it was fitting at the end you highlight Sabrina because she just won a WNBA championship. So, but nevertheless, we already know that when it comes down to the Super Bowl, everybody's jockeying for position of having the best ad. Now, out of all the Super Bowl ads I have seen, I think this one tops it all. I think it was the one. I think Angel Reese, she had hers with the McDonald's commercial with Breonna Stewart and one of her former teammates from LSU and rapper Lotto. But this right here is the significance of the Nike brand and how to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Move forward into the towards the women athlete to highlight them, highlight their greatness, highlight show what the world what it's like to be a female athlete. So me personally, I think that I like the video. I like what they have done. Now the you know there was I think a while back an article in Sports Journal said that hey, Nike is focused on women's sports, maybe a key turnaround, and this is something they need to do. This was back in January 8th, 2025. Nike CEO Elliot Hill on his earnings call last week said that the company had lost its obsession with sport. Now, because what I feel like they was doing is that they was focusing more on the product than the athlete. When you focus on the athlete, the athlete is going to sell the product. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna sell it. So invest into the athlete, allow the athlete to be the movement for your product. You know, especially when you got Breonna Stewart has a shoe, Asia Wilson has a shoe, and Sabrina Ionescu got a shoe, and Caitlin Clark about to have a shoe. They all play in the W. Then you got college athletes as Juju and Paige Beckers. They have a shoe, and Paige will be coming out this year. So you want to continue to highlight that and have that movement push, you know. And I think strategically, if you look at the athletes that has shoe deals with Nike, they moving it. But your biggest mover is Caitlin Clark. And that's why a lot of us all had pretty much wonder why that she didn't get her shoe in the process as it was. But nevertheless, now one thing I also love about this ad that the narration by Rapaducci, who won the Grammy, and she did a narration for it. And I love that the fact that they showcase a lot of these women, you know, but what stand out the most was the basketball part, and that's what you needed to highlight in this video, in this commercial ad, is the women basketball players, the athletes, and see them in their own aura, their own different form. Because at the end of the day, you could have different athletes in this ad, and if you didn't have the top women that's in the WNBA or in basketball, then it really won't mean nothing. So, you know, to me, now some people have an issue with the ad, you know, and I don't want to dive into that. And I'm not gonna spend time for it. Like I said, I like the ad. I think, you know, there was a lot of screenplay for Caitlin Clark in there. I mean, she showcased a lot of different varieties of herself in this ad, even when she did it for the Gatorade commercial. So me personally, you know, now Nike could always come back around, especially when it's time for her to do her signature shoe, do a commercial for her solely. But this particular ad right here shouldn't have been a single person. It needed to highlight everything about women, female athletes in total, not just one single person. I think they could do that in another time, but when you're doing something big, if you think about years ago when Colin Kaepernick had did the Nike ad back then, or during the Super Bowl time, it was one of the most. I mean, it was a very powerful ad at that time. I think this right here stands on top of that because you highlighting women of all sports, and you sending a clear message that you've been told that you can't do something, so do it anyway. You've been told not you can't speak, but speak anyway. You told that you can't sell at arenas, but do it anyway. You was told that you can't win, but win anyway. So that was a clear message saying to say, hey, we are winners, no matter what we are being told, that we're here to be winners at all. Now, Caitlin did put up some nice shots, videos on her Instagram account, and there was a lot of people comment on it. Here's a few shots right here I put together right there, and it's just a fact. To me, it's magnificent how she was able to capture aura in every essence, no matter what she's doing. Just like the Time Life magazine cover, and this was pretty good. The bottom picture with the basketball and the shorts on, that was pretty dope. You had Leo Boston comment on there, and you had Sophie Cunningham comment on there. You had Nika Wale comment on there. You also had um, Erica Wheeler comment on there. You had other people comment on it. Kate Martin comment on this. So she had a lot of people comment on this. So I think this right here is really dope, really nice, and it's just one of those things to showcase, And I just think that now, I believe Nike is starting to figure out. They're starting to figure out what they needed to do and everything like that. Oh, so he said to change that. He said sports would once again be a company of the North Star, to be the company of the North Star. And he said the strategy is already underway in recent activities indicating that women's sports will be a big contributor, not only for women's sports in particular, surging in popularity. Nike has signed a slew of prominent female athletes. We will get back to the leveraging deep athlete insight and accelerated innovation, design, product creativity, and storytelling. And that's what it's about. When each athlete has a story to tell, and each athlete has ability to create their own design, to create their own ability, their own innovation of what they want to do, how it's going to impact young children of the future. Boys or men or women. Now you're seeing how these women athletes, especially when it comes down to the basketball standpoint, is that they are making their shoes unisex where men and women can wear them. Not just solely for women's sports. You remember back in the day, Nike always just had women shoes. Some of the women's shoes looked good, but they never had them in women. Now you have female athletes that's good have a unisex shoe where men and women can wear them, where it gives you that boundary to sell more product, and where the female athlete could be more recognized as they are. So yeah. So like I said, Nike, I think they did a bravo job on this. I think they did an excellent job on this. And long as they continue to highlight the athlete, I think they will be okay. But as soon as they start focusing on brand and the product and, trying to switch out who's hot, because you got to think about it. Your hottest athlete is Caitlin Clark. And it's about time that you start highlighting her a little bit more than what you do, But it's good to see Sabrina, Caitlin, and Asia Wilson in this ad, especially, in the forefront, with the other female athletes, because they are, to me, the biggest stars of the W. We already know Caitlin Clark is world recognized, and she's the biggest star of women's sports in its totality. So, again, excellent job, Nike. Just don't screw it up. If you notice, I have a backdrop right there with a short little clip of all of Caitlin Clark cameo appearances in the Nike ad. So I think this is pretty dope. So I like it. So that'll be my new backdrop real quick. But until then, to the next episode, like, comment, subscribe. Until then, Live Watch Sports. I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.